Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to my class, um, winter semester 2022. I hope all of you are doing well, all of your health is fine, and your families are well, everyone in China is doing great. This is Anurag Basak, and we have met before in I think I have taken concept of storyboarding classes with you, and I don't remember whether I have taken art classes, but surely in last winter semester in 2021, I have taken storyboarding classes with you, right? So anyways, we meet again in this subject, which is interactive 2D animation techniques. So I hope we will have a good time together. And yeah, let's start for the class. And let me share the screen first. And today I will just, first of all, I'll just give you an overview of the subject as usual and what are the marking things, the examination pattern and everything. Right, so today's subject is called interactive 2D animation techniques. And just 1 minute, guys. Okay. So this subject we will learn in the semester is interactive 2D animation techniques. And you forgot my name, it's written over here, Anurag Prasad. You can call me Mr. Anurag sir, whatever you want. And what we are going to learn in this subject, right? Now we are going to do short 2D animation. That is first thing we are going to learn. And or graphic animation, animation for posters, logos, etc. And there are several things related to 2D animation that we are going to learn. Now, in animation, we have two forms, right? There are several forms, but I think for this course, for the stream multimedia animation, you have, I don't know whether you have learned 3D animation yet or not, but we have 3D animation and 2D animation. Now, there are several other types of animation, um, like stop motion animation, play animation, and different types of animation there are. But in this semester, for this subject, we are going to learn 2D animation in software, right? And as we know, that animation has a very long history, right? And before it was all done in hand, and there were teams of people, teams of artists used to do together, sit together and draw, you know, pages after pages of um, drawings, and different postures or different movements. And once they are played together and recorded, they became like short animation films, right? And so it's a very, very hard job. Animation, doing 2D animation or any form of animation is a very, very hard job. And in studios like Pixar, Disney, and DreamWorks, these are huge, big studios where they produce animation films. And I guess all of you have watched some kinds of animation films, whether it might be cartoons or anime or any other kind of animation films. It might be 2D or 3D. So in studios, there are teams of people working in every departments. Some people will just make the storyboard, some people will make the animation, the character design, the background design. So all these teams together work. We will know about those processes. And I think last semester also I've shared with you some ideas about how the studio system works, how the studio animation or any animation system works. And I will share with you this semester also the process in studios, because maybe you guys will go out of after graduating, you will go and get a chance of working in such big studios. Then you should have a very clear idea about the whole work process. So anyways, we will go into all those details later, one by one. And the software we are going to use is Adobe Animate. All right. Now there are different other 2D animation software. Some like Toon Boom and all those softwares are very, very famous now. But for this subject, you will be doing Adobe Animate. Okay, I have already told your school supervisor to check whether all of your computers in your lab have this software installed. And if there are any problems in the software installed in your systems, please, I request the class monitor to check with your school because I have already intimated them that this software is required. So please kindly check and make sure it's the latest version 2021 maybe, because I will work in 2021 version. Sometimes the interface or some options will change in every year, right? Once they're giving those updates. So make sure, try to see whether it's a 2021 version, it will be best. Okay. And I can share with you crack version. But let's see. I mean, first just tell me, check with your all of your system whether you have the software, and if not, just ask your school to install the software. All right. So in the class and for all the classworks, excuse me. So in the class and for all the classworks, you will be using Adobe Animate only. All right. You can use any other software for your personal practice. And if you want to explore some softwares, of course you can do. You can show me those works also if you want. But for this subject in the class, you will be only using Adobe Animate. All right. So this should be kept in mind. And useful hardware is a Wacom pad. I guess you guys know what is a Wacom pad, or else you can give a search in Baidu what is Wacom pad and you will get to know it. Okay, it is not mandatory, all right? But as we will do some drawings, we will do a lot of drawings, all right? The character design, the background design, and there are several types of drawings we will do. It's better if you have a Wacom pad. It's very helpful. Okay, it's like a pen tab, drawing tab. So you can do it with mouse, and I will recommend everyone to use mouse, right? Because if you're practice doing drawings with mouse, it's best, right? But it might be a little bit comfortable more to use a Wacom pad, all right? And in China, it's quite cheap. I bought my Wacom pad in China. When I went there, I have bought my Wacom pad in China. So actually, we are using Wacom pad from that country, from your place only. So you can find it, I guess, there very easily. But if you want to buy, you can buy. It's not mandatory. All right, keep it in mind. It's not a must have for everyone. But if you are using that, or if you already have that, or if you want to get it, it's it will be easier for you to do the drawings. Or else just practice with mouse. Okay, and try to have a sketchbook with you. Okay, maximum A4 size, not a very big one. A small size sketchbook will be good. Okay, and pencil, pen, marker or something, because sometimes you might have to do some drawings and show me. All right. So, or before doing the animation, you might have to, it's better if you do some drawings on the paper and do it then on the computer, because basically what happens once we start doing it in a computer, it's a little tough process. So it's better if we do it first in our sketchbook, just finalize. For example, you're doing a character drawing. Okay, so you finalize the drawing on the paper, you just make the changes whatever it's you feel, then you can do it in computer, because or you before doing it in computer you can show me, and if I suggest some changes, then you can do the changes there on the paper. Then the final drawing, you can make it on the computer. It will be easier for you to do in that way. Okay, so the hardware, it's this, I mean, the Wacom pad, it's not mandatory. You can get it, but I want all of you to just get a small sketchbook and pencil, pen, marker, if you want some sketch pens, color pens or color pencils, whatever. Okay. So these are the things we need to have. And yeah, please check whether all of you have this Adobe Animate software installed, uh, preferably the latest version, 2021 version. If not, just check with, you can install it. All right, so make sure all of you are accustomed with this. Now, before we start the subject, okay, before we start learning about animation and we start doing works in interactive animation techniques in the software in Animate, things that you need maybe. All right, so the first thing is learn once the 12 principles of animation. I think I have taken classes for you guys for the principles of animation. I don't remember. But I think I have only taken for 19 batch. So whatever. So just go through it once. Along with this video, I will send you a video of the 12 principles of animation also. And I think if you just go through them once more, because maybe you have forgotten some of the principles. So if you just study that once more, it will be better. Okay, because when we are doing the animation, it's very important that you follow the principles. Okay, and when I'll teach you, I'll tell you, like, now we are going to apply stretch and squash to this object. Now I'm not going to describe to you again, or explain to you again what stretch and squash is, because I will guess that you already have learned it, or know it already, isn't it? So because we have already studied it, you had the subject. So, or I will ask you to exaggerate a certain drawing or a certain character or a certain movement. Okay, so I will not explain to you what I mean by exaggeration, because exaggeration is one of the 12 principles of animation, and we have learned it, right? So before doing all the animation, just go through the video, okay, and just remember what those 12 principles are, keep them in mind, okay, and it will be helpful for you to do the works in animation. Once you do one or two works, you will remember everything. Okay, once you see the video, you will remember, but just go through them properly again once more. All right. And because you are a senior batch now, you're not first years or second years, you're senior batch, and I expect all of you to do some self study, which is very important. Whatever we are teaching you in the classes, apart from that, you need to do certain study by yourself. Okay, so for example, this one, it will be a self study. I will not teach you 12 principles of animation in this class, but you have to learn it once more yourself. Okay, then it will be helpful for you. All right, and we are going to do a lot of drawings. Okay, if for doing the animation, so just practice some drawings. Okay, digital drawings, it's better, or pencil drawing, pen drawing, on paper, whatever. Just practice doing some drawings in your off time. Okay, and if you do not have a Wacom, as I said, practice doing some drawings with mouse. Install Adobe Photoshop in your computer, in your personal laptop or computer. If you have one, then try to do some drawings with with mouse. If you do not have a Wacom, even if you have a Wacom, it takes a little time to get accustomed with the Wacom movement of the pen. All right, So to do some practice drawings, it will be helpful for you while doing the animation. Okay. And if you have a personal computer or your laptop, you install Adobe Animate 2021 version so that in your off time, not in the classes, but after your classes or before your classes in your dorm, you can do some practice. All right. So because animation, it's the techniques are not quite tough. It's easy. The only thing that will make you a better animator is if you practice more. And the more you practice, the more interest you will gain, because you will be able to see how much possibilities, what are the things that you can do. And there are a lot and lots of things that you can do in animation. All right. So the more you practice, you will be getting an idea about the software, about the things that you can do, and it will become much more interesting for you. Okay. So again, just go through the 12 principles of animation because we are going to use it. Just do a lot of drawings in your off time, especially digital drawings with the use of, you can use Wacom if you have one, or if you want to buy one Wacom pad, go ahead, do it, or you can practice drawings with your mouse. Okay, because it will be a little tough to draw with mouse. So if you do not have practice, so you can practice it. If you have a personal computer or a laptop or your iPad, I don't think Animate is there, but laptop or your computer, you can install Adobe Animate 2021 version and practice. Why I'm telling 2021 version is, I'm going to show you in 2021 version. So if you have an older version, you can work in it. Okay, it won't be a problem. But sometimes the interface or the options will be a little bit different. Okay, so it will be better for you to understand what I am doing if we both share the same version. Okay, so that is why I'm going to use 2021 version. It's preferable if you also have the same version. Okay, so this is before we start learning anything about this in this subject. Okay, next is marks, rubrics, and exam pattern. This will be similar like previous semesters also. Internal, we will have 60 marks, which will include classworks, okay, 20 marks in classworks, and internal exam, 40 marks, okay. When is the internal exam? I will tell you. So it will be in the middle. So maybe we have classes of 18 weeks, right? So the internal exam can be on the 9th week, okay, or on the 10th week. So right in the middle of the semester, we will have the internal exam. I'll tell you the date exactly, like 1 month before, not now, 1 month before the exam, I'll tell you the date. So the internal exam contains 40 marks, and whatever classworks you will do, I'll just take a count, and it will be for 20 marks. So classworks are very important. The internal exam, of course, is important, and the final exam, which will be conducted on the last week of the semester. So we have 18 weeks. It will be conducted on the 18th week, which it is 40 marks. Okay, so internal is 60 marks containing classworks of 20 marks and the internal exam of 40 marks, and final will be the external marks of 40 marks. All right, that will be on the last week of the semester. Class monitors will send me the classworks after 2 weeks. So first this week works and next week works together. You can, after doing it, end of the next week, you can give it to your class monitor. All right, all your Adobe Animate files, you can give it to your class monitor. Your class monitor will send that to me via WeChat or something, or via WeTransfer or something. Okay, so remember, 2 weeks works together, not at the end of this week, but at the end of next week. Because animation, we will, you might be a little bit slow at the beginning. All right, so for 1 week, for one class, you won't have a lot of things to do. Okay, so a very little things might be there. So 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, 2 weeks works. If I see, I will get an idea how you are doing. Okay, so I will explain this separately to the class monitors in Botim also. All right, so 2 weeks together, the class monitors will send me the works. All right, and all the classes will be practical lab classes. We will not have any theory class, but again, while teaching you, there might be some parts which I will explain in a little bit detail. So that might sound like a theory of half an hour or something, but it's very important we have all those. All the classes will be recorded. I will send you the recording. All right, because live classes, I don't want to take live classes because there will be network issues. Sometimes there will be network problem from my end. Sometimes it will be from your end. So I don't want to mess it up. I will send all the classes recording. All right, so you will have the recording before each class. You can see it. You will have to see it during the class time. All right, and also after it. So video for every class will be sent to the class monitors one day before the class, right? And the class monitors should play the video in the class. Class monitors, please keep in your mind, it's your responsibility. See, it's my responsibility to send you the video. I might be sending it 2 days before or one day before, all right? Play the video first in the class. Okay, remember this. Play the video properly during the class. All of you should download the video. I mean, the class monitors. I'm telling this especially to the class monitors. Download the video before, have it with you, play it in the class. Okay, don't waste your time by downloading it in the class. Do it before that, play it during the class time, and also give the video to the students, to all the students, whoever wants the video, after or during the class, not before the class. Okay, do not give the video to the students during the class, because or else some students will see the video before the class, and during the class time they will not do anything. Okay, so please do not share any video to the students, to your classmates, before the class. After the class or during the class, you can give them, so they can watch it in the projector or they can watch it in their computer, their choice. All right, but do not give the videos to the students before the class. All right. Okay, so all the students should see the video carefully. Again, it's your responsibility to see the videos carefully and work as per the instructions. All right, so all the instructions, everything will be in the video in detail. So all of you, please look at it carefully. You can replay it, right? Whenever there is any doubt, you can go back and see it. So that is why I prefer video recordings rather than live classes, because there might be audio issues and all those things. If any of you have any doubt, you can ask me through Botim, all right, or in the live class after the video ends. I will come to the live class, okay, after the video ends. So if the video is 1.5 hours, after 1.5 hours, I'll come to the live class in Zoom. So you can ask during that time, but it's preferable if you ask me through Botim, because I can reply anytime. Okay, but it's your responsibility to see the video carefully. So during the class or after each class, I can ask any students, okay, to send me the screenshot of their works. All right, during the class time, I can ask them. So if I ask you, immediately take a picture of your whatever work you're doing, send it to me in Botim. Okay, please mark this. If any one of you do not send your work properly during the class, or any of you is showing me you have not done the work during the class time, okay, in each video I will tell you what is the work you need to do during this time. All right, so if any of you are telling me that I have not done anything or things like that, then, or you have done just a work for 10 minutes and rest of the time you just played games, you will be marked absent for the class. I will not give you present. I will not give you attendance just if you're sitting in the classroom doing nothing. Because where I cannot see you guys, right? I cannot go and visit every student in the class. Even in the live class also, I will not know what you guys are doing. So I want the proof, simple proof that you are doing your works in the class, sitting in the class time. So if I give a work of 1 hour, you just work for 1 hour. After that, you do anything, I don't mind. But for that 1 hour, you have to do the work. And you have to show me the proof if I'm asking you. Just you share a screenshot or you share a picture, whatever. Okay, so this must be followed. All right, so class monitor should take the attendance in every class and submit it to the school office and also send it to me. All right, and again, if you're not doing the works in the classroom, if you're just coming and sitting in the classroom and you're playing games or you're sleeping, you will be marked absent, even if you're sitting in the classroom for 3.5 hours. Okay, so please keep in your mind that in my class, you need to be working. Okay, so this is all about the class pattern, the marks and the rubrics and the exam pattern. All right, and what are the things you need to keep in your mind before you start the subject. All right, and what are the things you're going to learn in this subject. Okay, and the software, hardware, sketchbook you need. Okay, so this is a basic introduction for all of you to this subject. I hope that all of you will work very nicely. It's very interesting subject, animation, 2D animation, and there are a lot of options you can do in 2D animations, but make sure you work very, very properly. So first I need to just give a small introduction to this software. Then I will go in doing some works, okay? And we will learn the software through the process of doing an animation. So Adobe Animate, it's the name of the software, and it's a vector-based software. I guess you know the meaning of vector graphics or vector images, or vector graphics and raster graphics or raster images. I guess you know it, but let me just tell you if you have forgotten or if you don't know. Vector graphics are images which are rendered by computer using a mathematical formula. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what is the mathematical formula. I don't know it, but it's basically if you're making an image, okay, and you are making it big, okay, the image quality or the animation quality will not get any reduced. Okay, so it's a mathematical formula how vector graphics are works. Raster images are made up of tiny mixed pixels. So we have this pixel in the screen also, right? How we see the computer, we have all these pixels, amount of information in small boxes. Okay, so it's best used for creating photos. So this is resolution dependent. Resolution dependent means if the resolution is like 4" by or 1920 pixel by 1080 pixel. Okay, if the resolution is like that, then if you make it bigger, then it will pixelate. That means the image quality will become bad. If you make an image bigger, then the image quality will become bad in raster images because it is based on pixels. If you there is a small cloth, and if you just stretch it, if you pull it from two sides, it will all tear up, right? It will tear up, it will tear, and the cloth will get destroyed. Pixels are like that. Okay, if there is a certain amount, size of pixel, if you stretch it, if you pull it and try to make bigger, it will become bad. Okay, so raster images are made up of tiny pixels. All right. So when you are doing any drawing in Photoshop, it is a raster image. Vector images does not become like that because vector images are made with mathematical formula. All right, there is no pixel based. It's not a pixel based software. So if you are making it bigger, if you are stretching it, if you are making a small work, if small drawing as even bigger, it won't matter much. Okay, the image quality will remain the same. Got it? The image quality will remain the same in vector graphics. In raster graphics, the image quality will become bad if you are making it bigger. So it's basically resolution dependent raster images. Vector graphics are made with mathematical formula. That is why if you are making it bigger or if you're making it smaller, or then whatever you are doing, the quality of the image will not change. Animate, where we are making this animation, it's a vector-based software. So we have a pixel size, we will have a resolution, okay, in which we will do. But even if you make it bigger, even if you're playing in a classroom projector, the image quality, okay, the picture quality will not become bad. Okay, so this is, keep in your mind, Animate is a vector-based software, right? While creating the animation, as I said before, also keep in mind the principles. Those are the backbones of any animation. So whenever, even if you're doing a ball animation, even if you're doing a character animation, whatever kind of animation you're going to do, you have to keep in your mind the principles of animation, always, okay? But because if you are doing any animation without without applying the principles, it will not become good. It will be bad animation. I will ask you to redo that part again. You yourself will see that pattern. It's not good. Okay, so keep in your mind the principles whenever you're doing an animation. Just apply those principles: exaggeration, stretch and squash, anticipation, all those principles that we have learned. So the first step is to get familiarized with the interface. I'll just show you the interface in a bit. And we will learn each techniques and options in the software while making one simple animation. This will be our first thing that we are going to do. We will make a very simple animation and we will learn each technique and options in the software, okay, while doing the animation. If I teach you separately, you will not remember. So while making the animation only, we will get familiarized with each options, each technique, how we are going to use all the different tools and the techniques in Adobe Animate. Okay, so again, Animate, the software is a vector-based software. That means even the picture quality will not become bad even if you increase the size. Okay, raster images are images which are resolution dependent. That means it's made up of tiny pixel. That means if you stretch it, okay, if you try to pull it from two sides, it will just tear up. It will become bad, all right? But vector images or vector graphics is not like that. It's mathematical, it's based on mathematical formulae. So if you are using it and making it bigger, if you're playing it in a projector, in a big projector, even in a cinema hall, the image will not matter much. The image quality will remain the same. Okay, so it's a vector-based software. Remember it. While doing all the animation, we should use the principles. We should keep in our mind the principles of animation. Okay. The first step is to familiarize with the interface of the software. Okay. And we will learn each technique while doing a small simple animation. Before that, there are a lot of options in Animate. Okay. Transform, paint button, select button. There are lots and lots of options. So it's better at the beginning if you know what are the shortcuts for it. Okay, so every time going and clicking over in the file option or searching for it is better if you know the shortcuts. It will take a little bit time to practice and just, if I may get idea of which software or which shortcut is this. But I have given you this to, I'll send you this, this PDF also, so you can print it out. You can print it out and keep it with you in front of you. All right, while you're working, you can keep those things, keep these two images in front of you, print them out and keep it in front of you on the table. So when you're working, you can just see them. All right, you can just see them. Free transform is Q. Okay, V is selection, A is subselection. Okay, pen is P, text is T. So if you press T on the keyboard, the text option will come. If you press N in the keyboard, the line option will come. Okay, these are very, very handy. These are very, very, it will be very easy for you to work. Or else every time you have to go and search for this option and click it, rather than you can just use one hand near the keyboard and keep pressing whatever you need. So, but it's difficult to remember at the beginning, right? So better you just print out and keep it in front of you on your desk while you're working. Okay, so just look into it. Eraser, you want the eraser, you just look into this page. Okay, eraser, E. All right. So if you do it like 4 or 5 times, you will remember. All right. So I will suggest you just take these two, this one and this one. You can take printout. If you want it in Chinese, you can also find. In internet, there will be. Okay, how the options are in Chinese. If you have all this, if you have the software in Chinese version, right, so you can find it in Chinese. I don't have it with me, but you can download it also. Okay, if you have the software in Chinese version, you will have those. So just try to have this one. It will be easier for you to work, right? Okay, now let's see this software. Okay, I will show you the first thing what we will do. We have this image, not this one. Okay, I guess you can see it. Yeah, I guess you can see it. So we have this image. Okay, I will send this image as well as this next one along with this video. Okay, so you can take it from your class monitor. So this image we will animate. We will make a small animation in this image. So this is all drawing, isn't it? But let's make this an animation. How it will be a very, very simple animation. And let's make it an animation. So the bird will fly off. These branches of the trees will be moving. The clouds will be moving. The sunlight will be moving. This water in the ocean and the river, it will be moving. Okay, so let's move everything. That's what. Okay, a very simple, very, very simple animation we will make from this photo, right? We have this photo, we will make into an animation. And this is the wireframe. Wireframe means the outline. Okay, so we can use this in the software and do the animation. This is just an outline of the drawing. You can use it, all right? And the colors you can just select like your own, or you can use colors from this image, or you can just select your own color. Okay, if like here is the sun is like a dark red, if you want you can put orange in the sun. Okay, the trees are like blue or something, right? So if you want you can put green or brown in the trees. You can make the bird some yellow, whatever color you want. All right, so you can use your own colors, but make sure each colors are different from each other, right? So if this back hill is green and the bird is also green, all both of it will match, right? So make sure if you're even if you're using your own color, make sure all the colors are different from in contrast with each other. So this is the first thing we are going to make, and I'll show you what we can make at in the first class. Okay, so if you can see the screen here, the animation, right? Now this is still incomplete. Okay, this is just the part of this ocean, the sun and the ocean and this boat sailing through. Okay, I have not done any of this, but this is like 1 day's work. All right, so you might take one class to do this. All right, again, let us see it. This is what we are going to do in the at the beginning. All right, very simple, very simple. Now this is the interface. Okay, this is Adobe Animate 2021 version. Now if you if you have a lower version 2020 or 19, I think it will have some changes. I don't know, because I have been using this one only. And the workspace, you can select basic, you can select essentials. All right, this is the essential workspace. It's better if you have the essentials. If you click here in workspaces, the upper right, you will have animated, basic, classic, debug, designer, developer, essential, small screen. Okay, so if you click essentials, all these will come. All right, in the other options also it will come, but in different ways. I prefer to keep my workspace as essentials, so it's better for it's easier for me to work. You can have any other interface also, but if you have the same interfaces as mine, so it will be easier for you to understand. And again, if you're using a Chinese version language, then this will be a little bit different. Okay, I can't explain you that surely. So please make sure when you're clicking and when I'm telling you to do certain thing, you find the exact Chinese, the translation for that. So if I tell you to publish, what do you mean by publish? Remember that, okay, in Chinese. Okay, so if you want, you can just use the English version also. All right, now these are the tools. Okay, so we have the selection tool, all right, the free transform tool, the lasso tool, the fluid brush tool, the classic brush tool, the eraser tool, rectangular tool, the pen tool, text, okay, paint bucket tool, eyedropper tool. This is to select the color. Okay, this is asset wrap tool. This is hand tool to move the page here and there, and this is the zoom tool. All right, we have the color box over here, so this will show which color my brush is currently. Okay, my brush is in the green color. That means if I draw anything, it will be sorry, blue. That means if I draw anything, it will be on in blue. All right, there is a stroke color also. I can select a stroke color, means if I draw anything, there is a stroke, there is a a side stroke. Okay, all right. Okay, so but before this, I just need to show you from the beginning, right? Like when you open Photoshop, I mean the animate, how it's going to look, right? So just let me close it. I don't want the changes. So if you're opening Adobe Animate 2021, all right, let me show what comes. You can all open your software now, or if you have opened it, just wait a minute. Okay, sometimes it will come by itself, or you have to just go into file and new. if it's like this, or it might come as a window over here. Mine is not coming now, so new. If you click new, this will come. Okay, so you have 4 presets. The full HD version, that is 1920 into 2020. This is the width and the height. This is in pixel. The unit is in pixel. 1920 by 1080 pixel. This is a full HD. This is the HD version, which is 1280 into 720 pixel. 4K version, 3840 into 2160 pixel, and the standard version is 640 into 480 pixel. These are the 4 presets that 2021 version has. Okay, if you want some, any other width or height, you can put it here. Or it's better if you just select 1920 1080. You can select any one. Doesn't matter at all, because anyways, as I said, this is a vector based software. So if you're playing a standard version in a big screen, the quality will not matter much. All right, but this is already we are making it in a bigger format, so it will be, the quality will be much more better, right? So just select 1920 1080. Frame rate, I'll explain you what frame rate is. Frame rate, we need to put 24. So frame rate is FPS, frames per second. That means in every second you are seeing, when we are making the animation, in each second, in 1 second, we are looking at 24 frames. Very fast, right? 24 frames in 1 single second. So very fast we are looking to at the images. These are single images, right? So when we are looking at 24 frames per second, it seems to us, it's an illusion, basically. It seems to us that the image is moving. Okay, if we arrange the images in that way, and in which the frames per second is 24 frames, it seems to us that the image is moving. That is how animation works. These are all single still images. When we play it at a certain rate, which is mostly 24 frames per second, it seems to us that the image is moving. Okay, so the frames will be 24 frames. Okay, or this number will be always 24. It's not big. I mean, don't make it 30 or 19 or 20. 24 frames per second. Platform type is ActionScript 3. If you're using any old version of Animate, sometimes you will find ActionScript 2 and ActionScript 3. It's better you select ActionScript 3. It is playable in most of the mediums. Okay, in anywhere. If you can put it in the internet, you can put it in YouTube, you can put it in your, you can make it in your mobile, you can put it in your, it's playable everywhere. So I'll prefer to work first in 1920 by 1080, height into width. If you do not see this, you can type this width 1920 and height 1080. You can type this, you can write it here, and frame rate 24 frames and ActionScript 3. Okay, if you click create, this will come. Okay, so this is the frame size. You can change it, fit in window. So it will take the maximum space in the window, which is 72%. You can show, you can click show frame. You can click 25%, which will become smaller. You can click 50%, then click 100%. Okay, it will occupy the whole space. You can click 200%, whatever. Or you can just zoom in, zoom out. Okay, zoom in. All right, and you can see here enlarge and reduce. So if you click this, it will zoom in, right? And if you click this, it will zoom out, right? Or you can use control and minus or plus. Control and minus or plus. So I'm clicking control and minus, becoming smaller, or control plus and plus, becoming bigger. If you're using Apple, it's command minus or plus. Okay, so this is the first thing. This is where we make an animation. These are called frames. These are very, very important. See here, you can see 1 second, right? This is 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. So in 1 second is 24. Okay, so 1 second is 24 frames. 20, this is 25, and 1 second is 24 frames. 2 second is 48. 3 second is 72, right? So this is here it is written 1 second. You can click here 24 frames, right? Because we have set the frame rate as 24 frames. Okay. Now what happens is, now okay, this is a blank frame. You can see the symbol over here, blank frame. If you draw anything now on the this canvas, okay, if you draw a line, all right, you can see okay, if I draw just a line, all right, I use this fluid brush tool and brush tool. You can use any one. I prefer fluid brush tool. Okay, if I use a brush tool also, it will work. Okay, but I prefer fluid brush tool. You can select anything, either the fluid brush tool or brush tool. Fluid brush tool has more options. That is the difference. It's a new update. The older version do not have fluid brush tool. It's a new update. It has some more options than brush tool. So if I now you can see this, this is empty. The frame is empty, right? It's complete empty. Now if I draw something, okay, the color change, right? This is called a keyframe. But it is called a keyframe. Okay. When we are drawing something in a particular frame, all these are called frames. These are only called frames. So there is blank frame and there is keyframe. When we are trying to make any changes or any thing on the in this timeline, this is called a timeline. Okay, I need to write that. Okay, so this part is called the timeline. All right, and these things are called frames. When you're drawing something in a particular frame, it becomes a keyframe. Now I want to draw something in this frame. So let's click in that frame, or you can just go to that frame and press F7. All right. So here F7. Or you can right click on that. Okay. Right click on any frame and you can find insert keyframe or insert blank keyframe. Okay, or convert to blank keyframes. So this is convert to blank keyframes. If I draw something, again the color changes, right? So anywhere you can click, right? You can draw something, the color changes and it becomes like this. So there is nothing inside. The first, there's a drawing. The 24th, there's a drawing. 32, 31, I've done this drawing. 48, I've done this drawing. Right? In the middle, you can see only the last keyframe is showing. So here, this is the first keyframe. Here, nothing is I have drawn, but it is only the last keyframe is showing. Again, after this, I have drawn this one. So this is a new keyframe. So I can't see all these things here, right? Only this is showing. Here, only this is showing. Okay, here this is showing. All right. So if I want to draw something here, okay, this frame becomes a keyframe. There is no keyframe. It's a blank frame here. Now I want to click this, okay, and draw something here. This becomes a keyframe. So whenever you are drawing something on any frame here, it becomes a keyframe. Okay, and in the middle, there is nothing, but when I'm drawing something, it becomes a keyframe. So any particular in an animation in this timeline, remember, this one is called a timeline. Okay, this lower part, this whole part is called a timeline. And these are called keyframes. To insert a keyframe, you need to press F7 or click on any frames, right, and draw. And if you are drawing a shape or something or anything, it becomes a keyframe. Okay, so this is the first thing you need to do. Whenever you are drawing something, okay, always make sure it's in a keyframe and it becomes a keyframe. Okay, so remember this, the timeline, 1 second equivalent to 24 frames, right? We are drawing in keyframes. The middle part, it's basically called the in between places. It does not have any frames, all right? And you can actually, if this comes if you're right clicking on this timeline, okay? If you're right clicking on this timelines, all these options will come. All right. What are the works of each option? We will come later. We will learn. But first, we have learned this one: insert keyframe, insert blank keyframe, convert to keyframes, convert to blank keyframes, and all these things. And all other options we will slowly learn. Right? We can use shapes also. All right, to draw anything. Okay, different kinds of shapes we have: rectangle, oval, square, all these kinds of shapes we have. All right, or line, we have the line tool. Okay, different lines we can draw. All right, the pen tool we have, right? We can draw the pen with the pen tool or the brushes, right? We can all use these tools. And what is the selection tool? We can select this thing, move it, right? All these things we will slowly explore once we have we will start the work. All right, so let's just delete this one first. And no, I don't want to save it. Okay, now we are going to start. So this page comes at the beginning. I think my computer is a little bit lagging. That is why all these options it's taking time. Yeah, this will be the opening page, I guess. Okay, so you can start with open. Now, if you have done like this week work, you can keep it saved. and next week you want to open it, you can open it and just click on this, or you can create new. If you're starting a new work, you can create new. If you're clicking on this create new, this option will come. For the beginning, we will work with 1920 and 1080 full HD version. Frame rate, make sure it's 24. Platform type, make sure it's ActionScript 3. Okay, so we are going to start with this work, right, as I said, and we will make a part of it today, and let's see how much we can do for this for today's class, and accordingly we will go. Okay, now I'll just give you guys 5 minutes break, and then you can come back and continue with the work. All right, so I'll just take a 5 minutes break in this recording only. There will be a 5 minutes break. Don't stop the recording, and after that we will um, resume, or you can pause the recording. After 5 minutes you can start it again. Okay, so I'll just pause stop share now, because I'm going to take a 5 minutes break now. I'm tired after talking for 1 hour, so I'm going to take a 5 minutes break now. Just you guys also take a 5 minutes break. You can pause the recording. You can pause this video now, and you can restart the video after 5 minutes. All right, so see you guys after 5 minutes.